What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today I want to talk a little bit about a device that I was sent over by Ryan from Castlemania Games. It is called the RetroTink 2X. This is what is considered a line doubler for your retro gaming consoles. So if you are a retro gaming head, you like to play your old consoles, you don't really have a good way to plug them up to your HD TV and get a good high quality signal out of your retro consoles, this device I'm going to show you today will be able to do that. So right here, as you can see, let's show off a couple of the inputs if we can get it to focus. So as you can see here, you have three different inputs. You have component, composite, and S-video. And on this side here, you do have your red and white, right and left audio. And then you can see that this device actually plugs in with a mini HDMI to regular HDMI. So when you buy this device, you will need to get a mini to regular HDMI cable, and it does get powered by a micro USB power supply. When you buy it from Castlemania Games, you will have the option to include those two different cables that you need to power this. I do recommend getting the micro USB power supply because it does have an on and off switch, which is really fantastic. Super convenient with this. You definitely want it because you don't want to leave this guy on. I don't recommend leaving it on, at least. It's nice to have the ability to turn it on and off when you really need to use it. Another good thing is that this one actually was sent to me with the casing on it. So as you can see here, you can see that it has the different inputs kind of engraved into the plastic. This shell doesn't normally come with this device, so you will have to buy it separately. And I do recommend you get this case. It keeps it nice and dust-free. When you get the RetroTink, it does come with a little kit that you can assemble yourself, but it does leave pretty open areas where air and dust can get into it. So if you want to keep it dust-free, definitely get this little casing with it. One more thing I do want to show you guys that is on this device are the buttons on the front here. So these two buttons right here are actually, this one is your mode switch and this one is your input switch. So the input switch will swap between your component, your S-video, and your composite videos, depending on which ones you want to use. If you switch this, it has three different modes. So when the lights are off and you have not pressed this button, or maybe you might need to press it twice depending on which set of lights is on when you actually turn the device on. When you have it with no lights on here, it will actually be in pass-through mode, which will just, give you a signal straight from your console to your TV through the HDMI signal. It does not clean it up in any way. If you press it once and has one light, that means it is on 2x mode, which is gonna, double the lines and clean up the image a little bit. And then there is fill mode, which is actually, you can pretty much call this like smoothing mode. It makes the image with the 2x plus a smoother on there. So it's kind of like a little filter, which is really, really nice depending on what type of games that you're playing. So those are the three different modes that this has to offer. So I'm actually going to head over to my computer and show you guys some footage that I captured and kind of compare it side by side so you can actually see right side by side, straight up footage from a console. I'm gonna also show you some other things that I was sent. This device is actually really, really nice when you pair it up with the HD Retrovision cables. These are the Sega Genesis cable. I have the PS2 and PS3 cable, which I will show you some PS2 footage. We're going to show you some Sega Genesis footage. And then we also have the Super Nintendo cable as well. So we're going to go through, show you guys some Sega Genesis footage, some PS2 footage, some PS1 footage, we're going to just show you a bunch of footage. So let's head over there. I'm going to show you guys some footage right now, and we'll talk about what we see on the screen. All right, so the first set of footage that we're going to look at here is from a Sega Genesis Model 2. No mods have been done to this console whatsoever. We are looking at composite footage straight into the RetroTink, and also on the far left there, I thought it'd be cool to just, put up that I have an HD converter as well. So this is comparing the RetroTink's picture to an HD converter. I will say this, that the colors do bleed a lot on one of these $30 converters that you can get off of Amazon. Not only that, but they offer no lagless option. This thing, input lag is just absolutely atrocious. I do not recommend the HD converter. I do, however, recommend the RetroTink. Now you will see some color differences between the 2X mode and the fill mode here in a second, and they're pretty significant. So on the logo here, you can't really tell too much, but once we get into the gameplay footage here in a second, you will see what I mean. The street is like green on the 2X mode, and the street on the right is like a bright blue. On the left there, you can see the HD converter has some pretty bad color bleeding going on, and it's really just not even in comparison. So the RetroTink, I will say, is not something that you're going to get this crazy HD mod type signal from your consoles, but it is going to give you a lagless solution to plugging in a composite signal from your console to a HD TV, so your gameplay is not affected. Alright, so the second set of footage, we are going to take a look at the same game with the same Sega Genesis. No trickery is being done here, except for we are using the HD Retrovision cables in partnership with the RetroTink on the two images on the right, versus the composite plus HD converter that we used in the first set of footage. And just look at the difference. Look at how much the colors pop from these HD Retrovision cables. The image is just absolutely insane. Like, I've never seen a Sega Genesis look this good in my life. I'm just blown away of the quality image that you get from these HD Retrovision cables, and partnered with the RetroTink. As you can see, I am capturing this footage with an Elgato HD 60S. So if you are looking to play retro games and capture footage, that is the setup that I'm using. The RetroTink plugged into the HD 60S. I know that there is some debate on what capture cards will actually work with Retrovision cables, but partnered with the RetroTink, I'm having absolutely no issues. As you can see, this picture looks absolutely fantastic with the 2X mode and the fill mode. It just absolutely incredible. Alright, so now let's take a look at the Super Nintendo. As you can see on the far left, you will see that the color looks a little bit brighter with the composite plus HD converter, but I will say that there is a switch on the HD Retrovision cables that will make your image a little bit brighter if that's what you're looking for. Me personally, I did not think that it was necessary. I thought that the image looked pretty good to me. But I will also say in this, you might want to pay attention to the lines on the ground. You will see the biggest difference on that. Also on the text at the top. But overall, as you can see, again, these cables plus the RetroTink are absolutely insane. Another really nice bonus is if you have a Super Game Boy, it will actually make your Game Boy games look pretty nice as well. This is, you know, if you don't have a GameCube with a Game Boy player partnered up with a GCHD, this is a really nice solution. Obviously, you can't play Game Boy Color games or advanced games, but look at how nice that Game Boy game looks. So now let's take a look at a PlayStation 1 game. As you can see on the far left with the composite plus HD converter, that picture just looks absolutely dark, muddy. It just does not look good. You still got the color bleeding going on. The HD Retrovision cables and the RetroTink just make everything pop so much more. And obviously on the far right, the fill mode does make things look a little bit smoother. Does look really, really nice for a PS1 game. And last but not least, let's take a look at some PS2 footage here. Obviously, you know, these images speak for themselves. Much like the PS1, you can see that the image on the far left with composite plus the HD converter is pretty dark. I feel like the blacks just overpower things, so when it comes to shadows and things of that nature, it just makes the image look really hard to see. You can't see, you know, out in the distance very much. It's just not good. I mean, pretty much this whole video is to pretty much tell you, don't use an HD converter with composite cables. Pony up the dough, get a RetroTink, partner it up with some HD Retrovision cables, and do yourself a favor. Play the games the way they're meant to be played. All right, so there you guys have it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do want to get a RetroTink, make sure you go to Castlemaniagames.com. If you go over to Castlemaniagames.com, you can get all of the devices that I talked about today. If you use the coupon code RAX, you can actually save 10% off of your entire order, which is really nice. I think orders over $20 will get you free shipping. I don't know if it's based on weight or what, but if your order's over $20, it's usually free shipping. So use that coupon code, save yourself some money. I don't get any money for this. I'm not, getting paid for telling you guys anything about any of these devices. I actually genuinely really like this device. I actually hit up Ryan to purchase this device, and he actually just ended up sending it to me for free. So thank you, Ryan. I really, really appreciate it. I was not expecting it. It was really thoughtful. If you guys didn't catch my last video when I unboxed all of this stuff, I was actually really blown away and surprised. So thanks again to Ryan over at Castlemania Games. Make sure you guys head over there. Use that coupon code. Save yourself some money. Use that money on games. Save it. All right, guys, thank you so much. If you like this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. If you like it enough to subscribe and stick around on the channel, if you're new, make sure to do that. I will see you guys on another video.